All right, nail queens and kings, let's be real for a second. Have you ever gone a little too wild on an e-nail couture super scoop and ended up with more foils than you knew what to do with? Now you're staring at a mountain of sparkly goodness thinking, what on earth do I do with all of these? Well, you are in luck because today we're not only taming that foil frenzy and getting those beauties organized so they don't take over your entire workspace, but I'm also going to show you how to use them like a pro. We'll be playing with some polishes that glow in the dark, change with temperature, and basically make your nails look like they belong in a sci-fi movie. So if you're ready to turn that foil chaos into nail art perfection, stick around. We've got a lot of fun ahead. Oh, and if you're new here, hi. I'm Rocky, your nail obsessed friend with 20 plus years of experience in the nail art game. My mission? Easy. It's to help you reach the stars with your designs one mani at a time. I love to chat, so you have any questions or want to say hi, drop a comment below. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you never miss out on the fun. Okay, shameless plug over. Let's get back to business. We'll start by tackling the beast that is foil organization. And spoiler alert, I might have a slight addiction with over 2,000 plus foils. Yeah, you heard that one right. What can I say? My friends call me the queen of nail transfer foils for a reason. So let's kick things off by diving into my foil kingdom. I'll give you an idea on how I keep this treasure trove from turning into a chaotic mess and just a small taste of my extensive foil collection. Now, if you went a little overboard with those e-nail couture scoops like I did, you're probably familiar with these lovely little boxes right here. They usually come with 10 compartments, which I used to think were perfect for storing my foils. Spoiler alert, they weren't. And then there's these foils that come in a little cellophane bag or little tiny tubes. Real quick, low key, does anyone else sometimes feel like they're playing like this never ending game of Tetris trying to organize their nail art supplies sometimes? It's just, oh my god, I always feel like I'm like moving pieces as they're like dropping down on me. But when I first, going back to the reason of why we're here, when I first got into foiling seriously about 3-4 years ago, my system was, well, let's just say it was, what are the kids saying? Basic, right? It was basic. I kept all the containers together and I tossed any bagged foils into a bin. It worked great until it didn't. I had to seriously downsize my nail supply storage area to this like under the bed container system now. Those cute little containers that originally the foils came in, yeah, they had to go. They were taking up way too much room. So just, yeah. I went on Temu and I searched for the word diamond painting. And for about $7 to $9, I found these ones here. They came with 60 tubes. Very simple, but effective. And what's awesome is after I started moving the foils out of those containers, now I had a bunch of empty 10 compartment containers that I started to store my nails in. Yes! So now that meant I got to empty out a bunch of those like bag nails and I finally got to put them into containers. And now I have all of these bags floating around. And I mean, I was giving them away to friends who had kids to bag up like Legos and like some weird OCD like I would. Absolutely nothing goes to waste when it comes to like storage and organization for me. I even pawned some of the containers and bags off onto my husband and he uses them for little spare parts to his RC cars. You've got to save those plastic trees somehow, okay? We got to do our fight. Captain Planet told me so when I was a kid. All right. So now that the foils are under control, it's time to get to the fun part. Using these babies. Let's dive into some techniques and special effects that will have your nails glowing, shifting colors, and stealing the spotlight. Ready? Let's do this. So, before we get into using the foils, there are some essentials we are going to need. First For me, that first thing is my pink paper mat. It is a must to keep the area clean. Foiling's not really all that messy, but it makes it easier. Easy cleanup in case I spill something. Next, we want a lamp. I'm using the King lamp from Nail Couture, which I've been jazzing up with some random stickers and even some gel polish here and there. We also need polishes and foils. Today I'm going to use gel polishes since they cut back on the drying time. You can use regular nail polish with foils, but I'm just not in the mood to wait for polish to dry today. There are no base coats being used at all today. Since I use soft gel nails for the last couple of years, I haven't found any need to use a base coat to help the polish stick. Now, if you want to change the designs a lot, a good peel-off base coat can always be used and it won't affect the outcome of your nail foil. I just personally skip the base coat since it saves me time and I make press-ons. If I want a new design, I'll just make a new set. Now, for polishes and top coats, I have picked out a ton. I have some from Beetles, from Savvyland, Betsy, I've got Blue Sky, Cosmetics, I've got some Honey Secrets in here. So I tried to be all over the place today to accommodate all the different gels that people may potentially be using out there. And same thing with foils. I pulled foils from all over the place. Some of these are Nail Couture. Some of these are from Temu or Shein. Some are from Amazon. My Daily Charm boxes. I think some even came from IBD. And just so many other places. Some I can remember right away where I got them from. Like this odd green pattern one. I got this from an Nail Couture Super Scoop some time back. Or no, I even got it in regular scoops too, so I got a lot of these. But I have a whole bunch of styles to try out that I haven't really got to play with yet, and they've really intrigued me, so I just thought it'd be fun if we all kind of play together with them today. We also need nails. Since I want to try out a lot of designs, it's just easier to use the soft gel nails. And this bag is full of ones I got from past Nail Couture scoops. Since the 0 and 2 are my least used sizes when I make sets, and I kind of want to burn through some of them, I'm going to use those sizes for my tester nails today. I want to use a few different styles also, again, to kind of accommodate to all the different shapes that people may wear out there, whether they are popular ones like this mini stiletto shape here that I'm using, or this extremely unpopular one like this XXL pipe shaped. I also have a medium long like coffin and almond shape. And since I've been really big on short nails, some of these Active City almond shape. I'll be honest, I really don't see myself ever wearing these pipe shaped ones like ever, but they are like one of the few long sets of nails I don't mind using for testing purposes, so we can test some of like the bigger pattern foils out. And last but not least, the nail foil glue itself. Now, here's where there's a point of contention. I've heard people say that you can use base coat, or some even go sans the base coat and just use the sticky layer that's built into the polish. I've tried both methods, and while yes, they work sometimes, it's just not the same effect. And it doesn't quite have the same stick a nail foil glue does. The biggest thing I've taken away from doing nails for so long, that if there's a product made for that application or technique, just use that product. You'll get better results, and if the results aren't coming out the way you want them to, there's less things to troubleshoot if you just use all the correct products for that technique. And for me, the nail glue I'm using today, this is one that I just happen to have from Nail Couture, since it was the place that I restocked at the beginning of the year when I was buying a bunch of my top coats and things like that, all of my essentials, I call them. I normally buy about 2-3 bottles of nail foil glue at a time because I go through this stuff just as quick as like my top coats. But I've used other brands in the past. I've used SXC, I've used Beetles, I've used Saviland, I've used McCart even. There's a lot of them out there that I've tried, and I feel like all of them work just as good as the other. It really all comes down to your technique, the foil, things like that. I also have some other odds and ends, like these cute little scissors. Oh my god, they are so adorable, and they sit inside this little nesting doll. I got this a few months ago off Temu for like $6, and it is so freaking adorable on my desk. Plus, since it looks like a little doll, I don't have to worry about my husband becoming like Harry Potter suddenly and making my clippers go like Alakazam, Alakazar, and disappearing them into the nether. Every time he gets his hands on one of my nail clippers. But I also have a file on hand in case there's any little nubs at the end of the nail. So for this first set of 6 nails, my idea was to show off a few different techniques with these foils. The second technique or idea that I'm going to do, and don't worry, there's going to be tons of tips throughout this whole video to help make sure there's no crinkles, no creases, is we're going to be using contrasting colors. So for the base color, I'm going to use this electric orange from the Betsy Humor Free line. It's called Sun's Out because right now, baby, I'm not playing with you. In Florida, that sun is out in full effect. The real feel is crazy. I can only imagine what some like my Texaners and other areas are experiencing right now. So then for the foil on top, I want to use something that has no orange in it, just nothing at all, so that way I can't run or hide from any flaws. The third technique is where the special effects are going to start coming more into play right away. We are going to use a gel that not only changes color based on temperature, but also glows in the dark. This is from the Nail Couture Fun Gel lineup. It's from the Magic Ink collection. This polish goes from like a dark pink when cold to white when hot. It is so cool to watch. For the fourth nail, we're going in naked. That's right, no polish, no base, just the foil glue. I never really tried this before, and I'm a little curious to see how well it sticks. Sometimes I get really lazy and I just wear pre-painted nails, but somehow find that little bit of motivation to put some art on it, like stickers or charms, and I would love to have a nail foil as an option also. For the fifth nail, I want to try this silver laser holographic print on top of a, what I would call like a brighter color. I know this print works great on darker colors, but I want to test out things I've never tried with y'all today. This purple is also from the Betsy Humor Free line. It is called Bold. And then for the last nail, it's for those people who struggle with ombre. Yep, I got my days. It's not easy sometimes. Luckily, much like Apple has an app for that, there's a foil for that. I also got tricked by this polish sold on Temu. Okay, tricked, maybe a little bit of a strong word. Failed to read and fully understand how measurements work is probably a better way to say it. Just, I don't know, 7 ml doesn't seem that small when I look at like my 10 ml bottles. This polish also has a temperature change effect from a light blue to a darker blue. So if we have any flaws with the ombre foil, hopefully that polish can save us because of all the magical blue shifting that is going to happen underneath. And as usual, I am off and on camera with painting my nails. Oh my goodness, that is so annoying. I made a new setup for the camera and I'm like still perfecting that perfect angle and hand placement. If you happen to have any tips on recording, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'm I'm 100% okay with admitting I'm still learning like the recording and editing thing. But you know, in 6 months, I feel like I've come light years from my first video. I feel like it's a lot less cringy, at least the audio, right? Also, please excuse how rough my nails are looking for today's video. I'm doing a lot of deep cleaning around the house, like hand scrubbing the grout. I'm doing this big, massive clean out in my garage, and it's been a lot easier, and I haven't to like worry about nails at the end of my hands or like, you know, a rhinestone go flying off like 2 days after I do them. Just simple things. So once you have everything polished, go ahead and cure them. These ones I'm doing for 60 seconds. Now, if you're like me and you're unsure if you want to use a foil on a nail or how exactly you want the placement to go, and you're using a gel polish that isn't tacky free, you can always wipe the nails with some alcohol and a lint free wipe before you start to align how you want the foil to go on the nail. Starting with this blue nail, I'm cutting a little square of what I need once I have the idea of the pattern and how I want it to go. I then lay the foil down in the middle of the nail, making sure it's like super flat, and then I slowly start pushing towards the sides and try to make sure we get no air bubbles or creases. If we do get a crease, since the base color is blue, it should hide it for us. Plus, a lot of the time with top coats, I've noticed it can hide those types of little imperfections. And you know what? Worst case scenario, there's always, you know, rhinestones and charms and stickers or something you can smack on top of it and cover it right up. For this blue one, I like it, but the blue underneath, it's kind of taking away too much from the pattern for me. I think maybe I should have used like a nude or even a white base instead to help the colors and the foil pattern pop a little bit more. I think the only thing that's like saving the nail for me is I really love the shape of these little mini stilettos. And I mean, I also really love that blue. It's like one of my favorite blues right now. So let's move into the next nail. For the orange one, at first I was going to do something with these butterfly foils, but I just couldn't get behind the color or the placement of the butterflies with this shape, so I was like, whatever. But as I kept going through, I found this like really cool yellow and blue one that I haven't used. And I want to say that these are pansies for the flowers. And it has this gold strand that connects between them. It's a little hard to see, but it's there. It's really thin and faint. Even though the foil, as I was testing it out, it works both ways, I like the way it goes from top to bottom, so that way the gold strand goes vertical with the nail. And I really like how it looks like the flowers are like cascading down the nail like that. And again, we want to place it as flat and even down the middle first. And with the foil, I like to, you know, just take my time, go nice and slow. That's the key to this sometimes. Go nice and slow. It's not a race. So another big part staying on the slow idea is when I'm taking the foil off, I go really super slow with it. Somehow my fat fingers don't slide over like every little speck, so if I go slow, I compress it back down in that spot a few times, and normally after a few rubs it will stick. But again, this is where top coats and charms and all those fun things become our best friend. This is also another personal preference of mine. Lately, I've been liking using my hands over the silicone tools. I feel like the added heat from my fingertips just helps it stick a little bit better. If you like using the silicone tools, go for it. But I feel like when I'm using my finger, it gives me more control because it's, you know, my finger's like actually attached to my body. So I have more control over where I'm pressing and moving that foil down to. And as I'm peeling this back, I'm a little shook right now. I like it. Someone go tell Mikey. I like it a lot. If you remember that Life commercial, if you know, you know. But even even the shape's kind of grown on me because of the design and the pairing. And I mean, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but that laid like flawlessly. It is a little hard to see the gold strands with the orange, and I kind of knew that going into this, but I don't mind it. I really just liked how the flowers looked, and that orange just really makes like the blue and yellow flower just pop so much harder. On the third nail, since I have a lot of space again, I want to use this really pretty floral one since the flowers are so big, and I want to get as much of that print on there as I can. I try to find a flower I want to be the star of the nail, and once I'm happy, I'll cut off what I need, and using the same method as before, going in nice and slow. Remember, turtle and the hare. Who won? The turtle. It's okay. Take your time. And with a little finessing, a little rubbing, we are 3 for 3. Almost a near flawless application again. And for those still working on their ombre game, this nail has that built-in ombre effect because of the temperature change property. Depending on the temperature, they're going to change through all these different pinks to a milky white. And after a long day in the sun soaking up the rays, they will be fully charged to glow at night. And people thought foils are boring. That just goes to show there are always ways to elevate without being a skilled artist. Now, for the one I'm most interested in, just going in raw with that foil glue. So, tip, when you're applying foil glue, just like anything else, don't lay it on super thick. You want a nice thin layer, and don't overwork the product either. If you're a baker, you probably totally get that concept, where if you're overworking the dough, it makes it harder to work with and then it doesn't set up right. It's the same idea with gel. Once you have that nice thin even coat, pop it in the lamp to bake and just forget about it. The next important thing I want to touch on is curing the foil glue. One, it doesn't fully cure like a top coat. It acts more like a base coat. That's why some people use a base coat, because it's still going to have a lot of stickiness after you pull it out of the lamp. I've put it in that king lamp on blast for 90 seconds and it still comes out super sticky. So after it comes out of the lamp, be careful not to touch it. Just like anything, the oil from your fingers can react with that stickiness, and that will be an issue of why your foil is not adhering the way that it should. Also, as silly as this may sound, there are two sides to a nail foil. There's the front and the back, the side that you're going to put on your nail, and then the side that's going to face up. As silly as this sounds, you want to make sure you're using the side where, how can I put this, where it's more like transparent, you know, like you can't really, like with this green one that I used earlier, you're going to see it coming up here shortly. You see how like you can see the pattern really well, but if I flip it over, like you don't really see the pattern. It's more of like the white background. This is the side that you want to put down against the nail. If you do it the other way with the shiny side facing up, I guess that's the correct word to use. This is the shiny side and that's like the non-shiny side. But if you take the shiny side and you put that down, it's not going to stick. It's never going to happen. It's not, nope, it's just not going to work. It has to be the other way around for it to stick. Speaking about time, I've noticed with several foil glues I've used in the past, they tend to heat spike. Even this one I'm using today, it's heat spiked on me. And I'm not even gonna pretend that I'm a chemist or that I'm super smart in chemistry. Yeah, I made like an A in high school, but that was like, oh god, my 20s. year like high school reunion came up. So, you know, high school for me was a long time ago. But I do get the general idea of it, that the molecules are moving really fast, creating new bonds because of the UV light. And as those bonds and molecules are happening and smashing together, it's causing little pockets of heat, aka heat spikes. And if you have thinner nails like me, you will tend to feel those heat spikes more often in any gel product that you use. So when I use foil glue on my nails, not like directly on my nails, I normally still build a nail first, but anytime I'm putting the foil directly on that nail, I tend to let it go for like 15-20 seconds in the lamp. Maybe it's the added heat from my body that just, it gives me a really good amount of stick for the foil. When I've done it for 15-20 seconds on the nail stand, it doesn't seem to do as well. So when I'm using nail stands like today, I let it go for 60 seconds. Regardless of which way I do it, I wait about 1-2 seconds to let all those new chemical bonds kind of just chill out for a moment, and then I go in with the foil while it's still kind of warm. Now, hopefully, because the base color of this nail is eternal beige and the foil has a lot of light pinks in it, we should get another flawless application, because the base will hide any of those creases that can happen from time to time. It's the name of the game with foils. Nothing is 100%. I used to work at a major tech company, and the devices we sent out, I mean, there were times people got devices that were dead on arrival. It happens. If everything was perfect, then there wouldn't be a need for warranties and insurance, right? So don't beat yourself. I'm just getting to the point of, don't beat yourself up if you get a crease. It happens. It's okay. But as I'm putting this foil down, I really like it, and I've had my eye on it for a while because of the light pops of yellow and white to kind of help break up all the pink from the background and the flowers and the butterflies. And after just a few little rubby rubs, we are on a roll today. 444. And this one seemed to go on super easy. It didn't seem to take much rubbing like it did with the other ones. I think this one maybe could have benefited more from like a white base coat instead. I feel it's like the blue one, while any flaw may be hidden or hard to see, the base color of the nail does take away some from the pattern. But, you know, maybe after a top coat, it will change my mind. Who knows? We'll find out. Now for the fifth nail. And another fun tip, going back to heat, I like to work with my foils when the nail is still warm after coming out of the lamp. I find that the heat really helps it stick better. Also, when I do foils, since I am a slower worker, I do glue as I go. Just like you would with, you know, magnetic or cat eye polishes. Once you got the line or have it just the way you want, you should definitely like at least flash cure it before you move on to the next one, because that magnet will totally mess it up. So yeah. But I have noticed on days where like I work slowly and I try to glue like a few nails at a time, like 3 or 4, by the time I get to that third nail, the foil glue doesn't stick so well to the cold nail, and it's a mess, and I have to do a bunch of stuff over again. So and you know, honestly, I don't like this one. And I don't think a top coat's gonna save it either. I really don't. I love the color. I love this Vetsy bold. It's called bold, but this bold purple. It's so pretty, and I love this foil. I've used this one or very similar design several times. I'm not liking the two of them together. The laser hollow against that light purple just makes it a little hard to see the design. Sometimes a matte top coat can save these because it will take the hollow out of it and it will just leave the silver look behind. But I don't know about this one. I think the purple's gonna be a little too light for, at least for me. So now that I hit the sixth nail and I started putting down this foil, I kind of regret doing the ombre on like the smallest nail out of every single one of them here. I didn't think that through very well. Like, you can see a little bit of the transition from the light blue at the tip to the darker blue with like a little swirl of purple in it. But because the nail's so small, you can't tell it's ombre without the other 9 nails next to it. So I think maybe this one could be a winner if I made a whole set with it. Plus, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm gonna pat myself on the back one more time. Flawless looking coverage thanks to that base color and also many years of technique and trial and error. And you know, don't let me say the word years and it scare you. I actually picked up on foiling pretty quick in about a month or two, and I just stuck with the same routine over and over till it became just muscle memory for me. Foiling just, I don't know, it's just really relaxing. It's a quick way to do nail art for those who lack the art skills. Or if you're like me, you got shaky hand syndrome and you can't draw all those cool things anymore. It comes out. It makes it really handy. I do have a few more patterns that I want to test out on camera today, but first, I want to go ahead and top these 6 and see if I can kind of save some of the ones I was on the fence about. For all the nails but the purple one, I'm going to use a unique top coat. This one has a built-in glitter. This is from the E-Nail Couture Shiny line, and it's called Glitter Pink. This is what I like to call a, 2-bird, 1-stone method, minus our rhinestones today. If there are any noticeable flaws, hopefully the glitter will cover over those, and instead of a flaw, they're just going to be just blinded by a bunch of, shiny sparkles in your face. For the purple nail, I'm going to go in with a matte top coat to take out the hollow effect and see if it helps bring the pattern out more against that nail. Then I'm just going to let the nails bake off for 60 seconds, and this is our final result. I feel like the matte helps some with bringing out the pattern, but it's just not bold enough for me. Now, this pink glitter top coat on the other nails, I really can't get over just how much more I love the orange one. Like, what? Maybe not this shape, but I really see me using this foil and that orange for my next set. It's still summer. We need to still use some tropical colors, so. The blue and the pink one, again, it's the shape that's making me like the nail and being okay with wearing something like that. But I do wish the pairing was different for the base colors. I really do like the foils and the nail shape itself, just I need a different base color, that's all. Oh wait, hold on, where are you going? You don't start getting ready to leave now. You thought I was just gonna give you 6 nails? That's it? Just 6 ideas? Come on now. We got a set of 5 fresh nails, and we're gonna try out a few more patterns and colors to help get those creative juices flowing so you can start using up all those foils. And we're gonna try out a couple of more advanced techniques, if you will. I got 5 more polishes we're going to try out. We also got 5 different patterns as well. This first one is from Mifa, I want to say. M-E-F-A. One of my friends bought these on Amazon and they gave them to me as a gift. It's a brand I never heard of, but you know what? I'm also not the person that turns down free gel polish. What's unique about this one is it changes from black into a very light gray, almost white color. Next, from Saviland, staying with the magical effects. This one is orange with an orange glow in the dark effect to it. Oh, and this one from Born Pretty, this has become like one of my favorite pinks recently. This is like a milky jelly gel polish. That was fun to say. But going back to polishes that have effects, this one is from Savvyland. As you can tell, it's all from the same collection. It was like 36 little bottles of polishes all together. I've had these for a while, so... But this one's really cool. It starts out white, but after you let it soak up a little bit of light, it has this really pretty green glow to it. And the last one I'm going to use is this glitter jelly that's also from Born Pretty. It's like this purpley blue aurora color. It's really hard to describe, but it goes on so beautiful. I love it. But just like with the first set of 6 nails, I am doing 2 coats of color and then I'm letting it cure for 60 seconds between each coat so we have maximum color and glow payoff. While I was painting the second coat, it was so much fun watching this black turn into like this weird like gray, nude, whitish color. It's really hard to describe. And then it like slowly turning black, like back to black on the corners. I have so many ideas now for Halloween nails because of this polish. Some people look forward to Christmas and all the Christmas decorations. I look forward to Halloween because of the nail designs. So be prepared to get hit with a lot of videos come October. So for the first nail, this is a little more of an advanced technique and I call it disappearing nail art. I use this beautiful foil that kind of gives this like rococo lace feel to me. The foil is clear with black and white for the primary colors, so in theory, when the nail is black, some of the design is going to disappear, and once the color changes, the full art will be displayed to see that beautiful rococo, elegant, lovely Victorian lace. For the final top coat, I went in and I used the regular high shine to just really help it sing and reach its maximum just look at me level. For the second nail with the orange glow, I went in with this ombre kind of galaxy feeling foil. I went with more of a orange red on the foil and I have some mixed feelings on it. I finished with the pink glitter top coat and I like it a little more with the glitter, and it's cool to see the pops of orange have this like fiery glow to them in the dark. The next design I wanted to show was, I thought really neat. It's some ways to jazz up a regular French tip without it looking extra, but underneath, oh, she's extra. Couple ways we can take this to the next level without it looking extra is the liner gel that we are using. This is not any ordinary white liner gel. This one is from Beauties and it's called Screaming Soul. And after letting it soak up some light, it has this amazing light blue glow under UV black light or even in the dark. The next way we enhanced this simple French set was, of course, using a nail foil. The foil has very light pink flowers, and again, I'm no floral expert, don't take me to court over it, but allegedly they kind of look like roses and a mix of like roses and daisies to me among the green leaves. At first, I was nervous the flowers on the foil were a little too light pink and blended in with the base color. But thank goodness for matte top coat. It's still a little lighter than what I wanted, but I feel the matte really took it to that final level to make it look like a simple floral French, but in all reality, it's packed with all the special effects like a Michael Bay movie. Yeah, I'm really loving that one. I definitely see myself making a set like that for myself later. So, I couldn't show off this odd green pattern foil without using it. It was kind of the reason why I made this video today, because I've been really intrigued by this foil for a while. If you didn't get scoops from Nail Couture, one of the foil sets included this pattern, and it's in like 5 different colors, and I got 10 boxes total of them easily. And I was like, how am I going to use this? This thing is so crazy looking because it has quite a bit like going on in it. But I thought this was a perfect time to kind of test it out and run through it, see the different ways I can use this pattern. And for the base, I went in with this white since the foil has a white base and the pattern's printed on. The pattern has, like I said, it has a lot going on with this. So there's a few ways I could have gone with this. It has pearls in it. It has these zebra-like stripes. And based on this handy chart I found when I did a quick search to figure out the difference, it looks like they're jaguar-like spots on it also. So it's definitely an amalgamation of prints. And honestly, I mean, I maybe didn't even need to use the pink glitter top coat to finish this. I'm looking at it more, but I really like the pattern and the color of this. It's crazy. And what's really cool is the white background from the foil doesn't block the glow from the gel polish. So when they come on at night, the green parts have this like super intense green glow under them. And then the white still has this like nice, cool green glow. And the last nail for this set of 5. You know, after I painted it with that Aurora polish, I was really unsure what foil I wanted to use over it. So after some lunch and just messing around, I ended up just reusing that Rococo lace one again because I just really loved the pattern of it and I wanted to go ahead and try to use more of that little scrap one up. And I thought, why not glitter bomb this last nail as well? So it is also finished with the pink glitter top coat. And because I can't end this on an odd number of nails, you really think I would let it slide with 11? With the way my OCD clicks, do you? Wow. Yeah, no. So for the 12th nail, to appease my OCD, and just a quick little departure from foils. I'm sorry, my loves. It's quick, I promise. A couple of videos back, I reviewed the Appraise Hello Kitty Gel X collabs. There was a top coat from their Heavenly line in there called Troublemaker. Here it is in case you forgot her. And I swore I already had something like this. Like, it was ticking me off during both of those videos, and I couldn't find it. But after I was out there searching for polishes for this video, I do have something like that Troublemaker. I knew it! I bought this a couple months ago from E-Nail Couture, and I haven't used it yet. I think I might have showed it off in a video. I think so. I think it was like the really long 2-hour video. But this is from their Fun Gel Good Evening collection. And what's funny is on the sticker, they call it a brocade color. If you watch Game of Thrones or House of the Dragons, think of their dresses. That's brocade. At least to me, when I think of brocade, it's like that type of fabric. It's a really heavy fabric that looks like it has this rich raised design on it, which describes this polish perfectly. It has tons of blue, purple, and pink chromatic glitter packed inside of it to make it just really feel regal. And it does give a look like it's textured and raised, but it's very smooth to the touch even after you first apply it. Now, this isn't a top coat, but in one coat, look at that color payoff. And honestly, I like this way better over the Troublemaker. I know the size of the glitters are a little bit different, so I'm kind of comparing like an apple to a pear, I guess. They're alike but not alike. They're similar but not similar. Me personally, I want a big strong effect from my glitter, and I feel like the Troublemaker one, no matter what color I've been using it on, I feel like it just gets lost against that color. I even did 2 coats of Troublemaker against the 1 coat I did of the Fun Gel. So again, it's a taste thing. I get it. Different strokes for different folks. I got it. But if you're like me and you want like the bold glitter, but you're going to be skipping that Hello Kitty kit, There are still ways to get that, that heavenly troublemaker. You just gotta look for chromatic glitters and boom, you just saved yourself like 100 something bucks. Unless they finally I haven't checked their website in a while. Maybe they finally released that one for individual purchase. They didn't originally when I bought the kit. Like the only way you could get the heavenly troublemaker top coat was buying that kit. So if that's what you wanted the kit for, I just helped save you like 100 and something bucks. Now, my plan is to get all these foils back under control. And while I'm doing that, let me know in the comments, which design are you dying to try? And which one had you saying, maybe next time, Rocky? Maybe next time. I want to hear all about your foiling adventures and any tips or tricks you've picked up along the way. I even have an Instagram and other socials, which you can check out in the description and share your nail journey and your nail foiling adventures with me. I'd love to see what you guys are out there designing. I also have links in the comments below with some of the brands that I partner with, so I can help you save a little bit of money on your next nail purchase. And I do always like to disclose when you use any of my links or codes, they do give me a small portion of the sale, which I use towards improving this channel. And there you have it, folks. From the mountain of madness to a shiny foil covered triumph. Whether you're a foil fanatic or a newbie, I hope you picked up some tips, tricks, and maybe a few laughs along the way. Remember, nail art is all about having fun and expressing yourself, so don't be afraid to experiment, even if it means you're making a mess. And before you go too far, my loves, don't forget to hit that like button if you had a blast. And if you didn't, well, maybe the next video will change your mind. Subscribe if you haven't already, because trust me, you won't want to miss the next round of nail adventures I got planned. And if you're feeling extra generous, share this video with your fellow nail art lovers so we can all conquer the foil frenzy together. Until next time, my amazing nail friends, be pure, be honest, be beautiful. I love ya. Happy birthday and it's your birthday. Bye!